Alright, so different video format for this one. I think I have, yeah, the mic's on the other side of that, so perfect. So behind me is Modern Horizons 1. I have officially acquired 101 boxes. At the time of this recording, I've ripped through, I have 5, 8, 11 left. So I've ripped through 40 boxes, exactly. I've gone through 40. So far my math has been like spot on. I will be netting anywhere from $100 to $150 a box. I have already started seeing my averages start kicking out over. Prismatic Vistas, Force Negations, tons of them for slivers, like all these things are like lining up exactly like I was planning and hoping for and what was planned for. I just thought it would be kind of cool to shoot in front of all these cases. So I ended up, so I'll do like a quick breakdown on the cost basis, right? All my loose boxes, I averaged about 160 on. My cases, because I bought a bunch of them from one company, I picked up a couple of them at 1127 a case. I picked up a bunch more at 1080 a case. And to keep in mind, the reason I paid more for those is these are cases, so there's going to be a foil mythic in most of these, probably, if not two, which means my hit averages should be better. Right now, 40 boxes, and I've only hit 2 foil mythics, which means I'm assuming most of what's happened is people would buy the half cases or the full cases, hit the foil mythic, hit the force negation or whatever in one box, and then sell the rest of them because they're like, oh, I got the hit. There's a bunch of other good stuff in there like Prismatic Vista now, for Sliver. There's a lot of other things in there that are really profitable. However, when these boxes released, it was very obvious like what the juice was. Now I'm still hitting foil mythics, but like I said, I've only hit 2 out of 40 boxes, which is 1 in 20, which is not great. I'm guessing when I crack these open, I'll probably hit about another dozen foil mythics. I think I have, what is it, 3, 6, 9, 11 cases total, which is 66 boxes here, plus these, I guess, oh, actually, I'm only 30 boxes in. I lied. Okay, 30 boxes in. Not bad. So, what are we looking at right now? I'll kind of pan this over so you can see maybe the sheer volume of cards that's here. It's interesting. The uncommons and commons I sell routinely through TCG Player Direct, 10 to 15 cents a piece for probably 20 to 30 commons, and then uncommons I haven't listed any yet. I know they're in my bulk boxes somewhere, but I haven't found them yet. So that's a fun time. But that being said, the other kind of announcement I did is I actually hired a part-time guy to come in on weekends now. I had to accept the fact that I can't process this much product this frequently with Flesh and Blood releases, MTG releases. I can't keep up with all the Pokemon. I can't keep up with all of it alone. So I have a high school kid from one of my coworkers who is coming in on Saturdays and Sundays now on weekends, and he helps me 4 or 5 hours until he heads home. You know, he gets some cash in his pocket. It's great. I pay him out as a 1099 because he's under his parents' health care and stuff. It works out for everyone. It's perfect. It's the scenario that I wanted and that I needed. However, now back to Modern Horizons 1. These cases, I averaged about 1160 on. I picked up one case for 1100, I think it was 2 at like 1127 or something, like 2 or 3, and then the rest were like 1180. Those cases that I picked up for the 1180 and 1127 all came with cash back on my card, so I got 1.5% cash back, which brings my cost on my cases down another about $15, $20, something like that. So I'm actually about 1100 on a couple of them, and then I'm at 1160 on a couple others. The other stuff that I got with those is I got little Pokemon boxes because my purchases were so large, they were just giving me free stuff. So I picked up another probably $200 in Pokemon stuff, just random odds and ends, but it's enough to bring most of my cases down to around like 1115, 1120 a case. I did pay more for the cases, so I think my cost average on the cases, once that's all factored in, let's see, we'll call it like 1120 for easy math. 185 a box. Yeah, 185 a box. The 40 odd loose ones, I picked up 6 at like 170, and the rest of them were all 160 or in that like 162, 160, basically 160, which means I also got to use my card on a lot of this too. So my purchase on the loose boxes is actually even lower than 160. It's about 155 net by the time I factor in my cashback rewards, my bonuses, etc., my shipping refunds, everything else that I get. So my total cost breakdown on all of these boxes, right? 185 for 60 of them or 66 of them, and 40 what? 35 or 35? Yeah, 35 or at 155, which puts my rough average right around 172, 173 a box. It's a little bit higher than I was aiming for. I was trying to stay 160 to 170, but because I got so many cases out of it, I was okay going up a few dollars on my average, just because I knew my end result was going to be more consistent and better. And kind of like part of the fun thing I'm going to do with this is once I'm done opening all the half cases, loose boxes, all that stuff, I'm going to sort the mythics and the rares, and I'm going to keep track of how many hits that I got in the loose boxes, and then when I get all these cases opened up, I know there's going to be more boxes, obviously, but like the ratios, we'll see how much more leveled out the ratios are with the cases. Especially because most of these cases, they all came from like pretty much the same guy. I bought most of them from one particular company, and I'm okay with that. I got a bunch of points from them and rewards, and there's a bunch of bonuses and stuff factored in, and all the free Pokemon and crap that I got. But we've been doing very, very well so far. We hit foil force and negation. I think I'm up to like 10 forces, something like that. I have like 3 or 4 play sets of like prismatic vistas, play sets of forces of vigor. Like I have everything. Like I am doing very, 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 very well. Then once you factor in like all the snow lands and everything else that's in there, all the tokens, the foils, weirdly enough, the tokens do okay on TCG Player. I'll get like random buys of like 5 to 10 at a time from people, and then TCG Player Direct will usually clear me out of like 5 to 10 a week. Like it's pretty marginal from Direct. I actually get more sales from people individually because I don't know if Direct just doesn't stock them or what, but yeah, I mean, whatever, it works out. But yeah, so that's kind of like where this is at. I want to do like a recording midway through for this video, so it's kind of like an update kind of thing. I'm gonna do this video in like 2 parts, right? Because I basically have like almost 17 and a half grand invested in all this stuff, and I'm about to rip it up and light it on fire. So I wanted to make sure I got some good content out of it, get a couple episodes. And this is gonna be kind of like the mid-part update. We're gonna get this part out next Monday is when this should go live. Whenever that is. I think it's like Wednesday right now when I'm recording this. I ended up staying home from work because like I slept through all 23 of my alarms or whatever, which is like super bananas. So I'm like, you know what? That's a sign from the universe. I'm staying home. So I stayed home and got caught up in this anyway, which, you know, worked out. Got some fire. So that's kind of like where this is at. I wanted to give you guys the breakdown of the cost, the breakdown of what I'm doing, how things have been going with this. I should, based off of this, like as well as I'm doing on the loose boxes, once I start cracking into these cases, I should be clearing somewhere between 10 and 20k net. About 10k of that will be brought out through the bulk over the next 2 to 3 years. I'm very okay just having $10 to $20, $30 a week of commons sell, and then $10 to $20 to $30 a week, sometimes more, of uncommons also sell, because I'm okay taking that $200, $300 a month dividend payment over the course of years. And I don't have the uncommons listed, so I don't know how well they're gonna do. And I only have half of the commons listed, because for some reason when I was going through the bulk, I have like the back half of MH1 but not the front half of the commons, and I have none of the uncommons. And I was still making about $20 to $30 a week before Direct. I have to go back and look and see how the Direct and post-Direct is doing. I think I'm actually up now to like 30 or 40, but I wouldn't be surprised to see all the common and uncommon bulks settle between, you know, $50 and $100 a week on average, just because of how well it sells through. The funny thing is, as more and more spoilers come out for Modern Horizons 3, there's no reprints of anything in MH1. I don't think there's been any reprints of MH2 either. which is amazing, which means all this fear and hatred of like, oh my god, Modern Horizons, the line is dead, like everything's gonna light on fire, was totally unfounded. And it doesn't matter if they reprint 1 or 2 cards from the set, because the EV is so high, it does not matter. Like if you take a, let's say they print, like, for example, Force of Negation is like a specialty slot thing. Does anyone really think it's going to go from $38 to $12? Like, that's an auto-include 4X in any modern standard deck that if it's available to it. It's auto-include in most blue commanders. Like, it's such a strong card, like, it has to be in your deck. Like, you just have to include it. And cards like that tend to be very, very, very price resistant, just like Shocklands are, just like Fetch Lands will be. Fetch Lands will dip very heavily with MH3 coming out. They'll probably drop into the $15, $20 range for most of them, just like all the ones did from MH2. Some of them are $10, $12 for the lesser played ones, and then the more played ones are $15 to $20. I imagine this half of the land cycle will also do the same thing. We will see how many they have in a box. If it's like MH2 where it was like 5 to 6, we'll see how things go. We might see some of them trace down even further if they do like the 9 to 12 like you were seeing with like Ravnica Remastered. But the moral of the story is this is unaffected, which means this is going to do amazing, which is fantastic. So I'm super excited for this. I will have all of this open, processed, and probably sorted by Saturday. I do still work full time, so I kind of got to balance the life a little bit. Like, I have to go into the office tomorrow and Friday. I'll do 10, 11 hours in there, come home, break down some more cases. I'll probably have my part-timer start sorting all of the commons and uncommons out so that those can get prepped for listing, so I can have that stuff listed immediately next week. Because I do want that inventory to cycle and proceed to continue accruing cash. I obviously don't like sitting on $30,000 worth of potential profit for too long because, well, I need to get it out the door. And the only way I can do this is by getting it listed and getting it opened. And frankly, like, I could honestly turn around and sell all these cases right now, like all the MH1. I could probably go turn around and sell all of this and make a quick 2 or 3 grand. But the reality is with a little extra work and honestly more fun because I get to open it all, I'll make an extra 10 to 20K just by opening it, processing it, monetizing the entire thing, and it'll do great. And I'm gonna make way more money doing it. So it's just another really great example of, like, for my video last week where I was talking about look places where people are not talking about it because there's money waiting. MH1 was an amazing example of that. Everyone was ignoring it. Everyone was focused on MH3. Everyone's talking about Fallout and these new sets and how much Thunder Junction's gonna suck and oh my god, play boxes. Meanwhile, you have a box like this that is quite literally sitting on secondary market for 200 or less. I think they're at like 210 at the time of filming when I looked this morning, because people are realizing MH3's not reprinting everything. It shouldn't be $210 a box. People are realizing now, and these boxes are going to go back up. I might keep a case for like funsies just cuz, I don't know. But either way, I have 101 boxes that I'm opening. I might do 95, we'll see. I'm probably gonna do all 101. I might keep like one loose box just for like fun. But these boxes were so free, it was crazy. And no one wanted to buy. Like, when I set my initial post on Facebook out, I had like 30 boxes within like 2 or 3 days at $160 a piece. It was crazy. And then it like dried up for a while, and then I had like another 5 or 10 come in, and then I had some other people come in, and then like the rest of them kind of felt like they were like tied up in huge collections. So of course I tried to take down the whole collection. And then they're like, oh, well, it's worth $110,000. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but all of your stuff has been reprinted 4,700 times, and it's worth like 30 now. And they, of course, decided to not sell, which is fair. I respect that. But yeah, the beatings that happened from the reprints were brutal. One guy I talked to actually had like a huge chunk of his collection was in, I felt bad for him, but it was in all the Onslaught foil fetches, like the OG ones. The buy lists on those now are abysmal. I think like TCG low on some of those now is like $100 or $200 a card. and they used to sell for like $500 to $700, $800 a card. Like when he sent me his price sheet initially, I think one of them was actually priced at like $840, and I was like, I give you like $150 for it, bro. I might still lose money at that. It's because like no one's buying it, and like everyone knows the new ones are coming out. So why would they spend $800 to twink out a foil one? Like, there's no point. So it'll be an interesting time, guys. I'm looking forward to how this all comes out. I'm gonna do the middle intro. I'll probably tag it at the end of this video. Actually, I think that might be the best, and go over all the hits from the first 40 or so boxes. And yeah, we'll kind of do this in 2 parts, and then we'll do the final wrap up where I do the comparison of the loose boxes versus the cases, and we'll kind of go over the whole process, because like by the time I do the next recording for this, I should have most of it on TCG Player, and we'll see how the direct sell-through does for the next like week or 2. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off now and keep going back to ripping, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll talk for now. Bye.